plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On first down, Drake. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Play action. It's Tannehill. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. So welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A first down throw for Cousins. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Cameron Wake in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Working out of the gun, Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
Third and long for Cousins. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
They'll start the drive with Drake. Room here to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. It's complete. Stills. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They start the drive with Cook. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Buying time to his left. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
So after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on third down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. An
incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Drake will start the drive on the ground. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now Tannehill. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And give them a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A pitch out to Drake. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. And his pass incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, and it's third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins to throw it. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Matt Wild now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A good pick up there, a 22.
Deep. Hey, 20.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This will be caught inside the 10. He got 29 yards that time. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
It almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, that's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Throwing is Cousins. They find some open field here. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
On the toss play, this is Drake. He's to the 10, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he's able to put it through. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Rhino!
They run it again with Cook. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire...
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Stephon Anthony in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Target. Play. Go.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. On 4th down, Tannehill. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. following the interception. Cousins. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Raekwon McMillan in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
180!
Cousins from the gun on third. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
Black.
They'll try and throw for it here. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 30. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. Cousins now to throw on first down. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Raekwon McMillan in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders have found their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down, here's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this.
And the pressure gets to him again. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Matt Hawk now. as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
It's a big one there for the Vikings. 49 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He'll get it up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Cook turned away on 4th and goal. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now obviously they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless, take care of the ball on the way out.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now on first down, Drake again. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Let's go. Lady. Hey.
Now the rookie from Arizona State, it's Kalen Ballage. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Again, it's Ballage. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Going for the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as hit. These guys will get the football back. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Stephon Anthony in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Gun. Bingo.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And an alley to run. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kenyon Drake punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Cousins. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And now it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then against with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Tannehill going to throw it. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And now out comes Minnesota. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. The rookie Minka Fitzpatrick with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing now, Tannehill. Wide open receiver complete. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute.